La for, hit for none. Adata, la for, hit for none. For Islam stand for peace. La for, hit for none. For Islam stand for peace.
Assalamu alaikum. Many thanks for joining us on NTA and for Real Talk Africa, where we are shooting a series of interesting programs from Africa, from Ghana, and precisely here in Accra, the capital city. We are bringing you special programs, and this very evening we are talking about the devotion of Ahmadi missionaries and other devotees to the service of Ahmadiyyat in Ghana, and for that matter in Africa and throughout the world actually. And so to help us do the discussion today, to my very extreme right, we do have Dr. Mahmoud Bat. He's a very devoted Ahmadi doctor, and he's been with the Asokore Hospital for many years. Doctor, thanks so very much for joining us for this special edition of Real Talk Africa. Next to Dr. Mahmoud Bat, we have Naib Amir 3 in the person of Al-Hajj Hafiz Jibril Saeed. Thank you very much for joining us for Real Talk Africa. And next to him, we have Naib Amir 1 in the person of Al-Hajj Mohammed Yusuf Yosin. Al-Hajj, you're welcome to Real Talk Africa. And next to him is Movi Mohammed bin Sali. He is Naib Amir 2. Thank you very much, and welcome to Real Talk Africa on MTA, my august audience today. Well, to start off with the discussion, let me start with Movi Mohammed bin Sali. Can you tell us the philosophy of the missionaries there, having also worked closely with the Khulafa, who lived there at the time and before migrating to the UK. At least I know that all three of you have at one point or the other lived in Pakistan. Anyone could answer that question.
If we talk of philosophy of the missionaries there, I will somehow...
in the face of all the persecutions, but having the willpower to still go on and do their missionary work.
You see, a missionary is someone who is dedicated and committed to something, and it's the dedication and commitment to that something, the exhibition of it is what we call the missionary life, okay? Now, the missionaries that we find in Pakistan are people who were dedicated to the cause of Islam in the midst of hostilities of a very high nature. As and when the hostility gained momentum, the spirit of dedication and enthusiasm in the missionaries also gained momentum. So that as far as the missionaries in Pakistan was concerned, if you want to know of their philosophy, I would say that their philosophy was persecute us more and we will give out more to Islam. That, in short, I can say was their philosophy. Because it was a matter of dedication. As you prosecute us, as you persecute us, and as you deny us of essential things, as you deny us of the worship of the one true God, you deny us of the building of mosque. The more you deny us, the more we'll build mosque. You can't break them, but we'll build more. And we are a brotherhood. And they tell the whole world, yes, demolish all the mosques we can build in Pakistan. My brethren out there are building thousands of mosques in Europe, in Africa, in Asia. So that the mosques that you will demolish, the handiwork of Ahmadis that which you will demolish in Pakistan becomes nothing that can be written home about. Because events have overtaken the actions of those mullahs in Pakistan.
Okay, so we'll bring in Naib 1 here. Let's come back to Ghana. We've witnessed, for instance, Catholic missionaries at work, and they're so effective at it. Comparing the way our missionaries work here locally to perhaps the Catholics or other Christian groups and other Islamic sects, would you say that we are there, we've gotten to where we are supposed to get to?
Well, I won't say that. Like it has been said earlier, our target is what the Mahdi ﷺ had said, that in the course of the next 3 centuries, inshallah, Islam Ahmadiyya will triumph over all other sects or religions. So we haven't gotten there, but we are in the process, in the sense that it's a teamwork that we are all undertaking. The early missionaries were committed, and as he said, the more they were persecuted, the more they gave of their best. And their inspiration was the presence of the Khalifa among them. even as the bees have their queen, and that stands as an inspirational pivot for them to work and serve for the cause, even as the ants do. The Khilafat or Khalifa among us, is the magnetic force that takes us through. So we are on course, we are doing our best. The early missionaries who accepted Ahmadiyya, like Osofu Bashir's father, he was a very dedicated and committed missionary. He should have said that his father also had influenced him in devoting his life for Islam Ahmadiyya. We met these people. We were also inspired, to dedicate our lives for Islam Ahmadiyya, and we are doing the best we can. Well, the resources may be limited, but with what we have in hand, with the commitment that we have given ourselves, I think we'll meet it. We will leave the scene. Others are here now. Others will come after us, and taking inspiration from the earlier missionaries and from those of us present here, inshallah, we hope we'll get there. The Christian missionaries have the resources from within and from without. That is, they are people who, bequeath all that they have outside for the cause of the Catholic religion or Methodist or whatever. And these funds are sent in, buying cars, buying resources for these missionaries. So they have the comfort of going about their way. That is why this man was asked, was asked, a missionary going out to preach to your congregation on foot? He was marveled, because the Christians have the resources from outside. We don't have it yet, but we hope the Mahdi and his successors have said that they don't know where the funds will come from, the resource. It will come. A time will come when, as the doctor said, those who will come after us will say yes, compared to those missionaries 50, 60 years ago, were in a better, comfortable position. Okay. So we'll get there, inshallah.
Let me bring you in here. We have this popular saying in Ahmadiyya that I'll cause thy message to reach all four corners of the world. Let's narrow it down to Ghana. Can we say confidently that the message of Ahmadiyya has reached all four corners of Ghana?
That's very interesting. But I will answer it directly, but before that, let me come to one thing. See, about this whole question of devoting one's life is very important. Sacrificing one's life. The philosophy of devotion, devoting your life, is captured in the verse of the Holy Quran, which says, قُلْ إِنَّ صَلَاتِي وَنُسُكِي وَمَحْيَايَ وَمَمَاتِي لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. That is, proclaim that my worship, my sacrifice, my living, and my death is all for the sake of the Lord of the whole of the universe, Almighty Allah. So anybody who ventures into this business of sacrificing or devoting his life or her life, your prime concern is that how would I migrate from my normal life to fully dedicate myself to the work of Allah. And we have got golden examples in history. Sometimes when you read it, you become so fascinated, and charged. Look at Maulana Nuruddin, the first Khalifa, Khalifatul Masih, a well-established physician. He used to be a physician to kings. A time came, the Promised Messiah ﷺ asked him to leave whatever he was doing and come and stay in Qadian, become unemployed in this, in our modern world, become unemployed. Now, because he understood this ayah in Salati wa nusuki wa mahyaya wa mamati lillahi rabbil alamin, my very existence is for the sake of Almighty Allah, not to fulfill my own needs. You see, and this thing was repeated even in our country. Because we are recording this for MT, and that's why I wanted to emphasize. People like the late Alhaji Saleh, we talked a lot about him this morning. You see, far away north. You come here south, this Alhaji Ishaq, a great scholar himself, was a great scholar. When the missionaries came from India at that time, he abandoned whatever he was doing. He followed them and translated, interpreted what they were doing. He became just an ordinary man. Because of this very verse, Inna salati wa nusuki wa mahyaya wa mamati lillahi rabbil alamin, I'm living just to please God. You see, so this devotion thing is not. We've been telling my missionaries, some of those missionaries working under us, we don't send you to a place where you are happy or you are pleased. We send you where we need you. That is it. Period. It's not that whether the place is nice or it's not nice. That is not a consideration at all. We need you there, then we send you there. See, now to come to your point of whether the message of Islam has spread all over the corners of that, I can tell you for sure that that has been achieved because I've worked in places where no Ghanaian has been. See, some of these islands, one friend I met him in the Pacific Island, he said, God-forsaken place. See, far away from any civilization, I've, by the grace of Allah, been able to spread Islam in Tuvalu, in the Republic of Kiribati, in Solomon Islands, Kingdom of Tonga, Micronesia, all these places, by the grace of Allah, they are the corners, actually the corners of in the real sense, because from there, there's nothing till the South Pole. Only open sea to the South Pole. So it is a corner of the earth. It is actually, literally it has been fulfilled. When you come to Ghana here, that is my business here actually. My business in Ghana is tabligh, taking Ahmadiyyat to where there is no Ahmadiyyat. And my brother, just a few years ago, 15, 20 years ago, there's so many places in the north where there was no question of Ahmadiyyat. Now, it's not that we have Ahmadis there, we have mission houses there, we have mosques there. You see, you talk about Gambaga, you talk about Chereponi, you talk about Yendi, you talk about Bimbila, you talk about Damango, Jakwahe, and whatever. Or Tulwe, far off places. You see, so I shall cause the message to reach all corners of the earth. It's really true, it has been fulfilled. I wish you also go to Tulwe and so you see that it is really the corner of the earth.
So I'll bring Doctor. You talked about the sacrifice you had to make, but surely you couldn't have made that sacrifice alone. You moved there with your family. They had to make sacrifices too. And I'm asking two questions in one, Doctor, because, yeah.
I was not able to complete my answer.
Yes, let's keep it as snappy as possible, but we have to do that within...
What I want to tell you is the spirit behind sacrifice, as Maulvi Sahib has also said. It's not the question of where you earn more and where you earn less, and where are the green pastures. It's question of commitment, Conviction is most important thing, as one of our Mustafa has said that once you believe in something and you do not practice, you are coward. Once we believe in Prophet Messiah, and when we join hands with him to spread the message of his message, and as the hadith says that you must, even if you have to walk on the ice mountains, go and make bayat and help him in his work. So the sacrifice or dedication or devotion comes from helping the Prophet Messiah. And the Prophet Messiah's work is not only to just send the message that second coming of Jesus has been fulfilled and now everybody says it's fulfilled, so all right, finish. The worship requires hakukullah, hakukul ibad. So the hakukul ibad requires service to mankind. And then there are so many avenues. If you look into the writings of Prophet Messiah, there are so many avenues. One of the avenue is this health sector, and for that this Nusrajan scheme was established. And when the Khalifa of the time announced, listen, this is when he announced that he needs doctors, when he needs doctors to come and work in any environment like Africa, for the world it was a black continent or the dark continent where they think that there was no civilization. So he, from the platform of his Khilafat, he announces to the world that he needs doctors, he needs teachers to go to that place, which to them, Khalifa might be knowing what comforts are there in that country or what environment is there. But for them, those who have just not heard of the place where they are going to be posted, when they hear that Khalifa tells them that they should come and devote themselves for this continent, so it is the commitment. It is not the money, it is not the dollars, or it is not the green pastures for which they come. They have enough at their home. Since they have made a commitment with, like in the Holy Quran, Allah says, who makes bargain with me? Who makes bond with me? So it's a bond which we make with Allah. And once we make with Allah, and I tell you, and I think others will also testify to that once you dedicate yourself, it's not the worldly things which you achieve, it is the nearness to God and the realization of God. Every day, I can swear by God that every day dawns upon me with a new God and more, shining God and more powerful God after my dedication. And it's not only me who's dedicated. My father dedicated his life, then I dedicated my life. When I dedicated my life, then I got married to my wife. she also dedicated her life, full life. And now my 3 children, they all are waqf, they are all dedicated. So my whole family is dedicated, and it's a delight. And I think I can't ask more from Allah, more than what I have already achieved.
And I think this is the point I'll bring in the audience. You can ask any question that's bothering you. We have very learned people among us who can. Yes, Dr. Alhaj Ibrahim. Yes, please. Please, can we see you standing so the cameras can capture you? Say.
Thank you. My question borders on the phenomenon of dreams in the propagation of Ahmadiyyat. We have been told that the first Ghanaian Ahmadiyya Panyi Ahmadiyya had a dream. That was on the coastline, Ekrofo. Then coming in was my own grandfather, Malam Yusuf of Permanency, who was not a Muslim at all. Very typical traditional. Also had a dream that he was making ablution. Then he became a Muslim, not an Ahmadi at first. Then later he had another dream that he was praying with white men. And upon inquiries, got to know that the Ahmadiyya missionary has come as far as to Brofuedu. That is Amir's relatives area. And it was carried. So my question is this coincidental, or is it part of the scheme of Allah sprinkling Ahmadiyya through dreams, which we in Ghana have benefited? I don't think it is coincidental. I want your views. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, if I may speak on this. You see, the Imam Mahdi ﷺ received a revelation. Okay. Yansuruka rijal nuhi ilayhi min as-samai. He said the meaning of this is that men will come to help you. That is the Imam Mahdi in your work. People who receive information, revelation from the sky, from the sky. Is this sky? Shall we say from the heavens? From the heavens. So this phenomenon of the dream that you are talking about, it is a conscious effort by Allah Himself, to spread the message of Islam throughout the world, sometimes through dreams, through visions. My own father also received a lot of visions in this respect, a lot of visions and dreams. So what you have just narrated fits into that revelation received by the Imam Mahdi alayhi salatu wasalam. Yansuruka rijalun nuhi ilayhi min as-samai. The same thing happened to Chief Mahdi Apa. Is it Adam Yakun? Yusuf Yakun. Those who received the revelation also, they received it because Allah Himself had promised that He will cause the message to spread throughout the world through revelation from the sky. And dream is, of course, a part of a revelation.
Yes.
Any other? Yes.
Allah has said in the Quran that whomsoever He wishes to guide, He opens his heart to Islam. And so only that person will receive these inspirational dreams that will guide him to Islam, whose soul is pure, is inclined towards God. Otherwise, not everybody will receive that dream. But sometimes when these people do receive these dreams, those around them are also influenced. And so with their coming and accepting bayat into Ahmadiyyat, their family members and relations also get the blessing of joining them into Islam Ahmadiyya.
Let me add one thing to what Anis has said. Although I'm not in a position to, add anything, but it just has come to my mind, and since I'm on the panel, so I want to add to this thing that the dreams just don't come just like that, that the dreams are being sprinkled over there and they come into somebody's. Allah Ta'ala says that it is the sunnah of Allah Ta'ala. وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا لَنَهْدِيَنَّ سُبُلَنَا. Allah Ta'ala makes ways, it opens the path for only those who strive in His cause. So the intention has to be there. These people who had dreams, they were the pious people. They had hidden, desire to seek Allah. And Allah opened the ways for them through their dreams and through the other kinds of revelations.
All right, then the discussion is getting more interesting, but then,
your grandfather was a traditional man, maybe not a religious man. He may not have been a religious man, but the heart might have been pure. You see, there are very good people also among those who didn't know much about God. So don't take it that because he was a traditional man, he couldn't receive true dreams. Okay?
Well, the discussion is getting more interesting, but we have to take a break here. When we come back, we'll return to the audience and take more of your questions. We'll take a short break. You're still watching MTA, and we are live at this Real Talk Africa right here in Accra, Ghana. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Another milestone in the history of MTA. Another sign fulfilling the prophecy revealed to the promised Messiah alayhi salam. I shall cause thy message to reach the corners of the earth. By the sheer grace of Allah, MTA's broadcast can now be seen on your mobile phone anytime, anywhere in the world. Watch MTA International wherever you are with our new mobile streaming service. Simply visit www.mta.tv on your iPad, iPhone, BlackBerry or Android device and choose the stream of your choice.
Visit MTA International's official YouTube channel to catch up on past episodes of your favorite programs. If you want another chance to watch Hazrat Khalifatul Masih's Friday sermons, MTA International's special programs and documentaries, or our wide selection of nazms, simply visit www.youtube.com/MTAonline1. MTA International's official YouTube channel, delivering our unique content direct to the world.
No talking points, yeah. All right. Assalamu alaikum, welcome back, and many thanks for staying with us on MTA. You're still watching Real Talk on MTA. Now, before we went for the break, we were taking questions from our audience in the studio. Now, we'll go back to you for the questions, but please make your questions as snappy as possible so that we can do all the things we have to do within time. I know we have people who are not missionaries here, but who have devoted, because this is about people who have also devoted their lives to the service of man. If anyone has any experience at all, any story you'd want to share with us, you're free to do so. Yes, sir. Give the mic to you, someone behind you.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Abdullah Joe Annan. My own is not a question. I just want to express a little experience I got from UK concerning the divine blessing and the beauty of Khilafat Ahmadiyyat. I've been in UK for the past 8 years ago. I just recently came a few months ago. Last year around August, ending of the August, I was working in London with 2 Indians, a man and his wife. The day the wife of the man came to the work, she started crying for the first 3 days. So I asked the husband, what has happened? The husband told me she's having a 6-year-old boy who is having leukemia. And everybody knows that leukemia doesn't have a cure. So she was so disturbed, but the husband is trying to advise her that he should exercise patience and all this. And he's 100% Hindu. He's not a Muslim, he's not a Christian, he's a Hindu. So I told the husband is a good friend of mine, we are in the same business. And I told him that, you know, I'm a Muslim, I'm Ahmadi Muslim. And we have a leader, our spiritual leader. Though everybody knows that leukemia doesn't have a cure, but Allah is the healer. He alone is the healer. So my suggestion to you is that you take a pen, you write a letter, you state in the letter that you are not a Christian, you are not a Muslim, you are a Hindu. Your wife also is a Hindu. And you have a 6-year-old boy who is having leukemia. And I'm your friend, an African friend. I've suggested that he belongs to a community, Ahmadiyya Muslim community. and suggested to him that he should write a letter to Huzu that he should pray for him, that by his prayers may Allah help him to heal or to respond to the treatment he was going through. And the first day he didn't take it serious, but still the wife was still always crying. So the second time I took it serious.
Right.
It was Wednesday. I called him, I said, bring a paper and pen. So he brought it, and then I told him he should write the letter. I was with him, he wrote the letter, we edited it, and then I told him to type it. He typed it. I told him he should type 10 copies, make 10 copies. So he typed the first one.
So he wrote the letters and sent them?
Yeah, and
right,
he brought the letter to me. I told him that I would.
Finally, what happened? Because we are
finally,
yes.
The first week, I posted one letter, and then the second week, I posted another letter.
What was the final result?
The final result was that the report, he got it from the doctors of the child who was treating them, that there are so many cases, the same leukemia cases, but the particular boy, his response to the treatments was so different.
Yeah,
it's improving.
We thank God for that, but then we need to move on, and we need to let other people also have their take on whatever we are discussing. I'm sorry I have to cut you at this point. Thank you very much. We can take one more. Yes, let's give it to
the divine blessing and the beauty of Khilafat Ahmadiyya.
Okay, but we are also concentrating on how devoted Ahmadi Muslims, especially in Ghana, are to the cause of Ahmadiyyat. Alhaj.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Alhaji Majid. This morning, the first session of the program, they talked about the Nusra Jahan scheme when it was launched in 1970 by the third Khalifa. And the issue of funding came up. So I just reflected my recent experience as the circuit president to one of our circuits in Accra, Achimota Circuit. When I took over the circuit a few years back, there has been an uncompleted mosque, and we decided to do it. But again, the question of funding came in. Surprisingly, we started doing the mosques, and the last time I collated the figures and informed my AMLA members at the circuit as to how much we had put into the mosques, everyone was asking, President Saib, how did we get the money? I said, I don't know. But that is the experience, because it is the work of God. It's surprising. The money comes, donations come, and the work goes on. You don't know how it is being done. And at this moment, the mosque is almost complete, and we are thinking of commissioning it next month. And with the permission of the Amir Saib and his Naibins here, maybe in the presence of MTA, if they could give us a few minutes to go and cover the mosque, would have been very pleased. Assalamu alaikum.
That's very interesting. So, but you were able to box in the fact that Ahmadis in your circuits have been able to put up a mosque, and that talks much about how devoted they are in that. Yes, we have. Can we pass the mic to him, our very last person, before we take the final comments from our panelists? You introduce yourself. You tell us your name, which circuit you're coming from, and what you are doing here.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Saad Karamat, and I've actually come from the United States. I'm here doing a Waqf Arzi, and I've been here for 2 months. I just wanted to say that when I came here to Ghana, I had applied to medical school, and I had applied to 21 schools, and I did not have a single interview. There was only one school that I really cared to gain admission to, and that school was focused on serving the underserved and serving humanity, which is what we are meant to do as Ahmadi Muslims. And that's really my only motivation. And, you know, so many people told me that I shouldn't even apply there because it'd be entirely impossible to even think about getting into that school. As an applicant, my chances were literally 2.3% to get an interview. And alhamdulillah, due to the prayers of Azur and the prayers of all my close ones and all the privilege I've had to do great work here, alhamdulillah, I got the interview against all odds. And I'm entirely convinced that this is due to the blessings of Khilafat and this great work and my dedication. So yeah, just wanted to share that.
One question before you sit down, because you are coming from the West, where we perceive to be all rosy, comfortable. So having moved down here, do you plan to stay longer here and serve, or you want to go back to live in that comfort? And what are you doing here? Actually?
Oh no, so actually, you know, I'm leaving in 2 days, and I'm just entirely overwhelmed with emotion. With the fact that I'm going to be leaving here, because this has been the most spiritual experience of my entire life. Being the 2 months I've been here in Ghana has been the most spiritual experience of my entire life, and I can't wait to come back here again, inshallah.
So if you're asked to come back, you accept it?
Oh yes, no, I'd love to. In fact, I want to come back, but whatever I'm told, that's what I'm going to do. It's because I'm doing Waqf Arzi for a year, so yeah.
Yeah, so you are in medical school. Have you served in any of the villages here in Ghana?
Yes.
How was the experience like?
Oh, it's absolutely. I mean, we have no opportunities like this in the U.S. You know, the experience is just something that you can't really describe in words.
Yeah, and I'm asking this because, you know, our missionaries sometimes have to live in similar conditions. They go to villages where they don't have electricity. Did you experience that?
Oh yes, yes.
And if you did, what does that tell you about our missionaries who have to live in such conditions?
You know, honestly, to be quite honest, personally, like I've been dealing with those conditions, taking showers with cold water, without running water. I've taken showers with, you know, like this much water. The thing is, your mind gets conditioned to it, and after a while, it's so easy because you're so focused on the work you're doing. So even though it seems very difficult from a Western perspective, I know that we can do it because we have the conviction in our hearts.
All right, interesting, alhamdulillah. So we'll turn our attention now again to our panelists, and I'll begin with Naib Amirwan. What advice do you have for the youth, especially the missionaries among us, and those of us who are apathetic towards the cause of Ahmadiyyat?
Well, my message, not only to the youth and especially the missionaries, but to all and sundry, is that the Promised Messiah, alayhi salatu wasalam, who was commissioned by Allah, came to plant the tree flourished, or the seed flourished into a tree, and he says no power on earth will be able to undo its growth. Also gave us the glad tidings that God has said that whoever devotes his time for the cause of religion, God will not make his devotion go waste. He will bless him so much so that even up to the 7th generation, inshallah ta'ala, the fruit of his effort will descend upon that generation. So there is hope. Yes, difficulties, they are bound to come. Even the rich men face their problems. What about those who live on meager means? So let us be committed to the cause that we believe in. Let us be bold to disseminate the message of Islam. The Hazrat Muslim radiallahu anhu has said, all of you are missionaries. Not the one who has gone to the Jamia or one who has gone to the Jamia to Mubashirin here in Ghana. He says, whoever is entrusted with any work of the Jamaat, and he does it sincerely, committedly, that person is a missionary. You may be the one who has been charged to collect the chanda from your members. If you do it sincerely, you are pushing the mission of the Jamaat to its unviable end. And so you are a missionary. If you are preaching, you are a missionary. If you have formally been trained, you are a missionary. Anytime you devote for the cause of the religion, God will bless you. You may not see it palpably in hand, but you get your blessing in kind. Sometimes it will come physically. You will see that, oh, this is the result of my effort, but sometimes it descends to your grandchildren or even children. And you should know that that is the blessing of the little service and effort that you put in the service. So let us be committed, no matter how the minute or the duration it may be, as we have done today. God will bless us, inshallah. May Allah give us the spirit of dedication wherever we may be. Amen.
I know you have been worried about some youth being apathetic towards the cause of Ahmadiyyat, because we feel to take up responsibility some of the times. You find a 40-year-old referring to himself as the future leader.
Well, that is a fact, and the only piece of advice I can give in this regard to the younger generation, who obviously are the leaders of tomorrow, is this, that wherever you find yourself, whatever you do, the niyyah behind it, the intention behind it should be this, that you want it for the service of Islam, Ahmadiyyat, and humanity. You want to be a medical doctor, you pray to God to open the avenues for you to become a medical doctor, but the niyyah with which you pray to become the medical doctor will be that so that you'll be in a position to offer value-added services to Ahmadiyyat, the true Islam and humanity. You want to be a carpenter, a mason, or whatever have you. You want to be a merchant, whatever you want to be, whatever you have in mind. The first thing that should occur, the first niyyah should be the service of Ahmadiyyat, the true Islam, and then humanity. What you must know is this, that, or we must know is this, that the total and final victory of Ahmadiyyat is predestined. It is definitely coming to pass. It will come to pass. It is for us to groom ourselves in such a way that we'll be counted among those who have been instrumental in the total, bringing about the total victory of Ahmadiyyat. We have also been informed, we are aware through the discourses of the Khulafa of Hazrat Masih Maud alayhi salatu wasalam, that Africa is bound to rise sooner than later. And the victory of Ahmadiyyat throughout the world is directly linked to the rise of Africa. I can comfortably, for instance, refer us to Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Thalis rahimahullah ta'ala, when he said that Africa ka dio jag raha hai. If I'm not mistaken, dio to mean a monster that is asleep. That the monster of Africa that was asleep over the centuries is waking up with full vigor. And sooner than later, the monster that is in it, that allows it to swallow the whole world, will soon manifest. That is to say that Europe has had its turn. The Americas have had their turn. The Asians have ruled the world. It is about the turn of Africa to show its own color. It is now for you and me to prepare ourselves in such a way, particularly the new generation, that when we are counted, that we, those who were instrumental in bringing about the total victory of Ahmadiyyat, the true Islam, I am one of them. Those who were instrumental, and we cannot be instrumental in bringing about the rise of Africa, we Ahmadi Muslims, unless and until we are instrumental in bringing about the total victory of Ahmadiyyat. It is with the total victory of Ahmadiyyat that Africa will rise. And with leadership of Ahmadiyyat, and with foresight of Ahmadiyyat, and with the guidance of Allah, and with the spiritual guidance of Khilafat Ahmadiyya, the world will see a new world. And that is the type of world that Hazrat Muslim Maud radiallahu ta'ala, who says, refers to as the new world order of Islam.
What can I say? Alhamdulillah, I have been informed, I've been educated, and to some extent, I have even been entertained. And I hope you have too. Thanks so much to everyone who made it to the studios, and to our panelists. Thanks so much for educating us so much. And to you out there, we wouldn't be here if you were not out there watching us. Remember to keep watching MTA, and you can visit our website at www.mta.tv. Thanks very much for watching Real Talk Africa, which came to you right here in Accra, Ghana. And we do hope that you will join us as we bring to you a series of other programs we do have for you. Don't go away. Keep watching MTA.
La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasul, Yami Bieni Ho, Tese Allah, Yami Bieni Ho, Tese Allah, Yami Bieni Ho, Tese Allah, Muhammad, Yami Smafo, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah.